All right. Welcome aboard for Virtual Collage Jam for, is it December 9th? I believe it's December 9th. It is. Okay. Welcome aboard for December 9th. I had a little camera, didn't have my camera connected, so a little flurry of silliness there. So all good now. Welcome aboard. I will say hi to everybody in the chat. And glad to have you here. It is December, baby. I can't believe it. It's well into December, and I can't believe it. So, so this morning I had to go give blood because one has to do that a fair bit as a trans person to make sure everything's going properly. And I was getting ready, and I thought, I'll just wear some like subtle lipstick today. And I looked outside and I thought, no, I'm not doing that. This day needs some juice. So that's why the red lips. So go bold, go big or go home, right? So so our theme today is snow globe. Hope you find that theme interesting and are wanting to do that. If not, of course, it's our themes are always optional. So if that doesn't rock your boat, then of course we'll do it. Man, I just can't speak today. I just need more of that coffee. So if that theme doesn't suit you, of course, feel free to do whatever you like. So the themes are always optional. Do it, work with it if it suits you, and don't if it doesn't, right? So today is our today is our last collage jam for the year, but Kim and I were discussing that we should have like a little holiday stream between the two of us. So next Wednesday, which I better check the date, because if I just say next Wednesday and don't give you the date, so on the 18th, we are going to have a live stream. We're going to see if we can figure out a way to stream to both of our channels simultaneously. And if not, we'll pick one. And I will let everyone on the Virtual Collage Jam know when that is. And we were thinking we might do some sort of gel plate printing together and with some holiday themes. And it can just be like a little hangout to you know, if you're working on wrapping, you can do that. If you just need a little art chill time, you can do that. You know, if you have any sort of holiday prep that you're working on that needs a little companionship, you can join us for that. So hope that suits you. And you can all excuse me, boy, you can always watch it after the fact if you so desire, right? Because I know holiday season is super busy. So Jane, how are you? It's great to have you along. Welcome aboard. Say hi to Colin from me. Hope you guys are doing well. Are you walking in High Park at all? It's I guess it's pretty muddy today, you know, but probably some nice sort of rainy, misty, moody vistas today. Thank you, Annie. Hello, Annie. How are you? And yes, I didn't say time today. 2 p.m. is the plan. And we haven't sent anything out, but we definitely will. I just have to make a visual for it first. So, yeah, so hopefully you can join us for that. Philippa, how are you? Awesome to have you on. Some of my favorite regulars, as usual. Regulars usually are usual, right? So welcome aboard. Philippa says she'll be lounging today after a busy morning. Yes, I totally get it. I had a busy morning too. And I mean, not crazy busy, but I went out to do blood and did some groceries. And then I came home ravenous. And so I made myself a huge lunch. And I feel so much better having had a big lunch. I've been since transitioning, I've noticed that I can't eat as many carbohydrates as I used to without putting it on. So I've been cutting back on that. But today I was just like, you know what? I need a whole whack of ramen. So I had double rations, and I have to say I feel awesome. So there you go. Every once in a while, you have to just say screw it and eat the stuff that you need, right? So it's not like it's unhealthy. It's just I just noticed that if I eat the carbohydrates that I used to, I I gain weight, you know, and everyone's saying, yeah, welcome, welcome, right? So, yeah. Anyway, I have I actually like half an hour before the collage jam, I had a little idea for what I'm going to do for Snow Globe. So once in a while, I do have an idea before I start. Sometimes not very far before I start. So I've made a couple of prints, and I'll show you that in a minute, and I'll switch to the overhead camera in a minute. So I know that there's some chaos back there, but back there, this camera is reversed, so I want to go over there. I know it still looks chaotic, but I did tidy up massively for my studio visit. I put some things up on the wall, on the cabinets, and I can find stuff in my studio, guys. It's amazing. So it's by no means pristine, but I went through a whole whack of, like, I had artwork stacked up that I had done during classes through COVID, and it just like got thrown on the heap and moving on to the next class. And I sort of finally sorted through a bunch of it, saved a few nice little tidbits, and let the rest go, and organized things into shelves. And it's like, I know, it's been pathetic, but it is so delicious to have like some degree of sanity in my studio. Kim comes into my studio and says, "Whose studio is this?" And I say, "It's mine." So, Mia, how are you? Awesome. Sorry, I always put a K in there. I'm sorry, Mia. How are you? Great to have you along. I hope you've been enjoying the gel plate course. And Philippa says, take two. Yeah, exactly. Zan, cool. So I don't belabor but first of all, before we get into even answering your question, nice to have you along, Zan. That's awesome. Thank you. This is your first time, I think. So yeah, great to have you here. So how did you find me? If you don't mind saying, if you do, don't bother. But transition, I don't belabor it here because it's about art. But the drive-by is, I sort of figured it out very late in life. I'm 58, and I figured it out a couple years ago. Went through a lot of like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Tried to stop it because I just thought this is just madness. And the more I tried to do that, the more miserable I got. The more I delved within, the more I found that, yeah, in fact, it's true. I attended a bunch of support groups, finally went to therapy. My wife's been saying I need therapy for like, not for this, just in general, for like 30 years. Gender questioning finally forced me to go to therapy, which was a good thing in many respects, like not just gender. And after a couple of really rough years, it started to just like feel natural, right, settled. And earlier this spring, I came out publicly. I thought about doing it earlier, but there's a right time for everything. So in March, I came out, and honestly, love bombed. Like, I sent out a big email to, like, I have a big email list because I'm an art instructor, right? So sent out a big email and got back literally, I think, over 100 really supportive emails. Like, I'm just so blessed with the community I have, and a bunch of the people you see in the comments are the same people who are really kind and supportive. So that's a drive-by, and I am still, like, I'm learning every day. There's so much to learn, and and just I'll end with this because here I am talking to you. I could not feel better. I've never felt better in my life. I could look worse. I know I could look better, but I could look worse. I could definitely sound better. Voice has been a big challenge. Musicians, I think, do well with the voice, and I have never been musical. I've never been very good with my voice, other than just speaking. Right? I didn't sing and so on. So that's an ongoing challenge. I took a bunch of lessons. It obviously didn't stick very well, so it's work in progress. I've given myself permission to just go with it for now. I'm going to get back to voice, but I've honestly, my art career went ballistic ever since I transitioned. I just had I had way more success. So I think it's just, some success would be coincidence. This much success, no. I think it's just, finally at home in my skin. So it's, I feel like so much of my life has been better late than never, and this falls into that category. So that's it for the drive-by on transition. I hope that's enough. I'm going to catch up on comments. Annie says, haha, me too. Must tidy, back to tidying up studios. Must tidy up my art area, finding and burying supplies, buying supplies I already have. Yeah, we've done that so many times because Kim and I have a lot of supplies between us. We're both artists. So yeah, it's like, I know we have this, but we need it and we can't find it, so we buy it again. So I came across Mizan online. Cool, awesome. Oh yeah, so you have a friend who went through it, so you totally get it. Thank you, appreciate that. It's nice to have people who get it, or you don't even have to get it to be kind and supportive, right? Like, who better to be an expert on who one is than oneself, right? I'm very live and let live. Like, if that's what you need to do and it's not hurting other people, then go for it, right? And that's how I treat others, and that's how, fortunately, most people I know treat me. So, yeah. And I do feel right and settled. And that's very kind. Beautiful, no, but beautiful inside, and some of that sneaks out in my smile, right? Because that's where it feels best. So. Hey, Rebecca, yay, nice to have you along, awesome. Philippa says, we love you. Oh, yeah, I feel it, and I send it right back. Mia, okay, is okay. God, oh, no, Mia is good. I will get it right. We also have a friend named Mika, and so when I see the M, I trip to that, so that's not, I will get it right. She gets all sorts of amusing name variations on her legal name, Miroslava. Yep. Mia, Maya, Mira, Maya. Marunka, that's one I've never heard of before. Russian name, but I'm not. Right, go figure. So my male name, Cal, is short for Kalman, and it's a Hungarian name, and I'm not Hungarian. My father named me after a friend of his who was Hungarian, so I have this WASP background, but I had a Hungarian name, so there you go. So, hey, Lisa, nice to have you back. A little late, helping daughter find some paper supplies. Yes, we were just talking about finding one's stashes, so that's cool. Mia says Marunka, and I have to enlarge that. My glasses are my most sight. Ilka? Ivanka? Oh, Marunka like Ivanka. Okay, yeah, sorry. I thought it was like a middle name there. Anyway, yeah, the small print reversed out in YouTube, not so good. All right, I'm going to switch to my overhead camera and get this party started for me. And meanwhile, in the comments, let us know if you're going to be working with the theme, what your ideas are. I thought, I think everyone loves a snow globe, and I thought it was like it was holiday, but it can also just be winter, right? If you don't celebrate traditional holidays of the season, or you celebrate a different traditional holiday, so it sort of drinks in more. But obviously, a lot of them are very Christmas based, right? So yeah, all right. So let's get this party started. So camera's going to go, our scene is going to go black for a minute or two while I get the camera switched overhead. Low tech here, and then we'll get going. Well, you guys are probably already going, but I will get going. All right. Quite often I close my blinds so that the outdoor light and the indoor light don't conflict, but I need every little iota of light possible, so even if it's changing the color balance a little bit, I'm going to have my window open. All right, so my idea, such as it is, and we'll see how it goes, I printed, that's just like a royalty-free snow globe, but from our graphic design background, I have some resources for snowflakes, and so this is what they look like. I just went and found the snowflakes I liked, the sort of graphic ones. And then what I did quickly, this is what I was doing madly a few minutes before coming on air. I skewed a few of them, so it just made them more oblique. And I'm looking at that and thinking, yeah, right, you're going to cut those out, but I might cut out a few. So, because what I wanted to do was create snowflakes like they were flying around at different angles, like they do in a snow globe. So I'm not going to cut all of these out because that would be crazy, insane, but I am going to use probably pick and choose. So, and then I thought that what I do is like have the snow globe in the background and then have like this, the snowflakes are like, like what's happening in the snow globe is actually coming out of it and enveloping the whole scene. And the scene will probably just be snowflakes. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be, I don't think it's going to be very visually interesting. Like sometimes when I'm collaging, it's, hopefully it's interesting to watch. I don't think this is going to be particularly. And why do I say that? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a few different white and off-white sheets of paper, like everything from sort of light blue or medium blue, like cool colors, light blue through to white or off-white. And probably 2 or 3, and then put them underneath this, tape them together or staple them together, and then cut these through so that I'm cutting these snowflake shapes out of, like if I cut this snowflake once through two or three other sheets of paper, I'll get those snowflakes in a couple of different colors. So that's the plan. But you'll just be watching until once you see, I'll tuck things away and then you'll just be watching me cut this. But hopefully towards the end of the session, we'll start to see the results. The first thing I need to do is find some blues and whites. And a lot of you guys know this already, but I organize my papers by color. It's not the only way I organize stuff, but I have a drawer unit that has like all the sort of primary and secondary colors for drawers. So this is my blue drawer, and I keep blue stuff in it. So I'm just going to get some blues. I think there may even be some like really pale blues. Yeah, there's one down here, which will be good. Super, a really pale blue. I also am a really big fan of like this. Where is it? Of course, because I'm a big fan of it, I use it a lot. So I know this sort of like turquoisey color. I'll see if I can find some of that. So this is something I enjoy collaging with as well. And I buy them. Where do I get these? Staples, Walmart, Astro Brights. They come in. You can buy them in a few different colors or quite a range. This has like, I don't know how many colors that is. 20 different colors. So, including some nice blues. So grab some of those. And the good thing about these is they're fairly thin, which is good for if you're cutting through several layers of paper. It's good. It's good that the paper is thin. So, oh yeah, there are two different kinds of blues there. That's good. Like or two different kinds of sort of turquoisey blue is what I should say. There's even a dark blue as well. But you know what? Maybe I'll put a dark blue in the mix as well. Why not? I can find it. It's purple. There's dark blue. Not surprisingly, I have lots of white paper. This is just like a premium bond. Like it's a little, it's good for printing like slightly better quality images. It's like 28 pound rather than 22 pound. And just in case you're curious, this is what it is. This one's 28. It also comes in a 32 pound. It's a Xerox copying paper. I also really like this paper for gel plate prints because it's nice and smooth. It takes the prints really well. And because a lot of my gel plate prints end up getting collaged, something that isn't really thick can be really good because to have gel prints on, because then collaging with them, they're not like cardboard, right? They're pretty thin. So I'll check in with comments in a few minutes, just after I get some more blues. I'll get my stacks done and then I'll check in. Oops. Sorry for the noise. Okay, so I've got some solid blues, but I want to find some maybe interesting blues. This is a piece of paper that had a blue paint on it. That's something else I do is I paint sheets of paper for collaging. So I'm going to see. Doesn't look like I have that much in that regard, which is too bad. Oh wait, there's some. Yeah, it's a small piece though. All right, well, ooh, this is fun. Like getting a snowflake out or two out of that would be great. So and this is a piece of magazine paper that I painted over, so you can still see a little bit of the text through it. And there's a nice texture to the brush strokes, but I might include that as well. I don't know where this came from. I think a student may have given it to me. I don't recognize it as something I made, so. Another thing that I use a fair bit of is I go to Michael's or Walmart. Michael's is actually better now. Walmart's scrapbooking section is practically nil now. But you can buy pads of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper in different colors, different patterns. And this one actually has a metallic, but it also has blue. So that sounds good for snowflakes too, doesn't it? So, this, it's got more gray than blue, but it has a slight blueness to it. So that is way more than I will actually use because that's too many sheets, but I'll pick between them. So what I might do is lay out just to sort of help me figure things out. Sort of the imagey stuff, painty stuff, and flat colory stuff, and then sort of pick between them. All right, well, I definitely want a white sheet. I definitely want a light blue sheet. And I also printed them at a couple of different sizes. If I had had more time, I would have printed them at maybe another one more different size. But I'm thinking the snowflakes that are bigger, I will use the lighter colors. And so what other light color? Maybe this one. And then smaller ones I'll do out of some of these other colors, because I kind of feel like I'm going to do like a dark background, like maybe black or navy blue, and so the white flakes will come forward most, like they're closest to our eyes, and then the smaller ones will be a little darker, so they'll drop back a bit. That's the theory anyway. We'll see whether it actually works out that way. Trying to figure out where I want that to get, but the snowflakes, some of the snowflakes get on the blue. There we go. Better take that one because otherwise it's going to move. And so I've got 1, 2, maybe one more layer. I kind of think that the shimmery one shouldn't be, I think maybe darker blue. Maybe this one. Again. Yeah. So Zan, if you're still there, what kind of art do you do? Are you a collage artist primarily? Do you paint and draw? Do you do all of the above, none of the above? Let us know. A bunch of the people who are here are artists of very different stripes, but most of them have at least a few collage bones in their body. And some of them because they came across me, and I'm happy. Nothing I love more than turning people on to collage, because frankly, I think it's awesome. So. Right. I want to put one more on this, but I better not. Actually, I'm going to put one fewer on this one. I think it's because this sheet is thick. It's more like cardstock. I'm going to take it out of the equation and look for a lighter sheet, a lighter weight sheet. right, so maybe what I'll do is figure out if I put this, which one on? This one maybe? This is lighter paper. Okay. All right, I have the feeling that a bunch of comments are coming in, so I better get caught up, and then I'll get coming some flakes. All right, so Jane says, oops, Jane, I somehow missed you saying no walking High Park today. Yucky out there, yeah, for sure. So did the other yucky mess and went. So did the other yucky mess and went food shopping. Yeah, I was doing food shopping too today. That's pretty funny. Let's see. Rebecca says, I'm not collaging at the moment. Organizing stuff now, may or may not get to collage. Yeah, well, you know what? Organizing, I'm here to say, having just done some, that it's necessary and it's really useful. So Mia says, I'm so happy to be back to collaging as I'm having jelly plate disasters, PTSD experience. Oh no, Mia. Yeah, I was really sorry to hear that you were having so much grief with the jelly plates because like conditioning it and so on. Because that really has not been my experience at all. I've had no issues with it, and it basically it's a real joy to use. So I wish I could give you that experience. So yeah, I'm sorry. Hey Val, welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. She says a little late, but finally here. Are you Val? Are you going to be playing with the theme or working on one of the Paris Collage Collective prompts, or both, or neither, or what you got up your sleeve? Let us know. All right. And get the sheets I'm not using out of the way so they don't get cut accidentally. They can live to see another day. Meanwhile, these are going to get sliced up. All right, and I'm not going to cut out every one of these snowflakes because life's too short. I'll just pick some, and I think what I should do so that I don't lose my mind is mark them with something so that I know. Maybe. Well, I used to have a red pen. I guess it'll be a blue one. So part of it is what looks reasonably easy to cut. And some of these designs have sort of loose bits in the center, so I don't think they'll work as well. So like that one, I'll probably give a miss. I'll include this one. This one also has a fair bit of cutting, but actually that one's more different, I think. Maybe go with that one. And that one. Maybe what I'll do is cut this one, but just leave the center. Or I don't know whether that'll work, but all right. So now the next question is, do I use a ruler or not? I think not. What I will try and do is cut all of the sort of same direction at the same time, within reason anyway. I'm trying to press pretty hard because I've got a few layers of paper under there, so. I'm sort of going along this axis, so I'll do that one first. Because I figure something as complex as this benefits from attacking it with some degree of some semblance of systematic approach, which I don't do very well with systems. I really admire systems, but I seem to be terrible at actually using them. Kim says whenever I'm filling out a form that she says, you go over there and then you go down there. It's like, no wonder you miss things. You have to work through them systematically. It's like, yeah, that's kind of the opposite of the way my brain works. So I'm hoping that because I've got leeway, I can cut beyond what are you saying, Kat? Come on. That I can cut beyond the black, that hopefully that will help the when I do come to extricating it, that it will be a little easier. So if you do cut complicated stuff out, like I do sometimes, I have a unfortunate predilection for cutting out complex things too much. Something that can be useful to sort of figure out where you are, depending on what you're cutting out, of course. But when I get to a certain point where I'm not sure where I've cut and where I haven't cut, I'll flip it over and look at it. In this case, it's just a whole bunch of, you can't even see them, whole bunch of lines. Yeah, you can't really see them. But once I get close to being done, I'll be able to see, oh, right, okay, I missed that area there or that piece there, and hone in on what, I'll even sometimes cut it from the other side because it's easier to see where I've missed. So I haven't done this axis yet. The one good thing about this is that while I have to press harder and it's going to be a little more difficult to get a few layers cut through properly, at least once I'm done, I'll cut one snowflake out, but I've got 3 snowflakes for it. So that's why I'm doing it this way. There was a collage jam that I did, I think it was in 2020, in the relatively early days of collage jam, where I did puzzle pieces, and then I printed out some templates for puzzle pieces, and then did this same thing, cutting out. I layered several different kinds of collage material underneath, cut the puzzle pieces out, and then made these interesting mismatching but interesting images of puzzle pieces put together. So I did do that. Okay. Yeah. Getting to that point now where I'm trying to figure out what I've done and what I haven't done. Actually, it's not too hard yet. So right now I'm in the, I mean, not at this moment, but currently I'm figuring out what I'm going to be teaching next term. I mean, I've told Nielsen Park Creative Center what I'm doing for them. That's what is that? Abstracted landscapes in collage and mixed media. But I'm figuring out what I'm teaching for my own courses. I'm going to teach at least one collage course, probably two, possibly two. I might do one collage course and one using some other media. And so I have to figure that out quickly so that you guys can see what I've got going. So hopefully in the next several days, because I have to write the script, I have to decide on it, write descriptions, make visuals, load it to the website, do the MailChimp. Not that I'm complaining, mind, but it does take a little while. And usually the thing that takes the most time is coming up with like what I think would be a good course. That's actually a place where a bunch of I feel that my creativity gets applied, is like, what am I going to teach? So, but I'm open to suggestions. So if you guys have anything on your course wish list, please put it in the comments. I'll take note of it. If there's something you're wishing I would teach, you can either leave it in the comments during the jam or email me. Most of you have my email address, so if not, you can reach me through my website, which is still calhoney.ca for the time being. So kalhoney.ca. You can reach me through the contact page there. So yeah, if you have anything on your wish list, let me know. And I think wintertime, I love teaching online just because there's so much less travel involved and less schlep involved for both the instructor and the student, right? I mean, for you guys to go do an in-person course, you have to pack it all up. Then you get there, you unpack it. Then you have to, when you're done, pack it all up again, take it home, unpack it. So in-person is great, but from home via Zoom is pretty great too, especially in winter when the driving can be dodgy. So this coming winter, all excuse me, all of my offerings will be online, and then I'll probably do at least something in person again in the spring. I just finished doing an in-person workshop at Nielsen on abstract expressionism in paint and collage. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. We threw some paint around quite literally on the first day, and then we went looking for interesting crops from that and did some collage and paint from that. So that was a lot of fun. And it is I still love the in-person experience too. There's nothing. They're just different animals, right? Because having one-on-one face-to-face conversations with artists is also something I really love. And online, the one thing you really can't do online very well is wander around and see what your other classmates are doing and talk to them. So that's a really great thing about in-person courses. What do you guys prefer? Do you have, especially now that we are sort of through the pandemic, and you've had, I think pretty much everyone has taken some courses online now. I mean, it'd be a pretty rare person who hasn't. So which do you prefer, or are you like me where you have things from each that you like? Let us know in the comments, and I'll check in with comments in a few minutes. And I'll also see what courses you guys are suggesting. I'm doing a little informal market research, as you can tell. As I've said many a time, I can't seem to walk and chew gum, so fortunately this is a fairly straightforward cutting job. Like, it doesn't involve a ton of my mental bandwidth, but I do lose track of where I am sometimes, regardless. Not that side. Not this side. Okay. I kind of feel like now is that point. Don't wait, I didn't do those yet. Don't jump the gun, cat. Just mumbling to myself about what have I got, what am I missing? I don't think I've got this axis yet. Look at those. And not these, and not these. That's funny, I got one side, but not the other already. Okay. All right, now I'm going to flip it over and see if I can find what I'm missing. Here. When you're cutting through many layers, the top layer might be cut all the way through, but the bottom layers are sort of not. So now I'm going to work from the back side a little bit. And something that can help with seeing that, probably not for you, but for me, is to put some raking light on it. Like, hello, my lamp seems to want to move on me here. Some raking light, some light that comes from the side helps me see the white on white cuts a little more easily. So now I'm just finding the parts where it's not quite cut all the way through, and there are quite a few of them. So another thing is these snowflakes won't be they won't be identical. No two will be the same, because the fact is, even though it's the same design, as you go through the layers, they morph. I need to do this side of this arm and the insides. Seem to be missing those. Trying to do the outside one and not the inner ones. This side instead, maybe it's that side. Maybe it's that side. this one. It's what is that? Why does it look like it isn't? Why does it look like it's not cut? Unless it's a different spike. Maybe I didn't go all the way through. All right, I'm going to start trying to extricate this one, but before I do that, I'll see what you guys are saying. So, all right. Well, you guys have been talking up a storm, so I got to back up and get caught up. I better switch my glasses to my monitor glasses. I need to get some progressives, but right now I have like glasses for working close up here and glasses for reading the monitor. So, so Zan says he self-describes as a collage addict. Awesome. I mean, I think a bunch of us here describe ourselves that way as well. So welcome. You're among friends, and have often told people that I belong to a self-help group for collage addicts, and they believe you. I then have to assure them that you're kidding. That's hilarious. You know, whatever we're struggling with, and most of us have something somewhere along the lines, if not many, right? Because we're human. And I honestly believe that some of the best therapy is being creative. So yeah, absolutely. So Val says she's working on a portrait of her son's dog for Christmas. Oh, that's so sweet, Val. He's going to love it. That's going to be great. Zan says he's autistic and it's one of his special interests. And I know that the Venn diagram of autism and artisticness is pretty significant. And some of the gifts of autism, we all know that there are plenty of challenges to it, but some of the gifts are very much aligned with creative pursuits, right? So it's great. It's great. Yeah. Zan says he's a certified as a soul collage facilitator. I've never heard of that. Serena Frost Soul Collage. Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. And as a trauma psychotherapist, I think about integrating it into my healing work. It's very cool, very cool. Kathleen's joining us. Nice to have you on, Kathleen. Drop by to say hi and happy holidays, everyone. Likewise to you. Nice to have you along for a little while or the rest of it if you've got time, whichever is good. That's so great. Zan says, you really are beautiful. That's very kind, Zan. Thank you. I'll take it with a little bit of a blush that you're not seeing, which is just as well. Zan's got a lot to say. So Zan, but don't worry, that's fine. Like don't take that amiss. Also paint, draw, and create masks from bark leaves, etc. Ooh, that sounds great. Have you do you ever teach at Halliburton, Zan? Because that's the kind of thing that I could just see being a great course up in Halliburton. Can I put my website in the chat? Definitely, I will. Yeah, coming up in a minute. Zan says he lives in Thornhill, uses Wheel-Trans to get to Toronto, crave in-person workshops. Yeah, totally, I get it. Especially because if you have to rely on Wheel-Trans to get you anywhere, you are spending a lot of time indoors, right? So being able to go to a physical workshop is like a real treat, right? And I totally get that. That's awesome. So Jane says, yes, abstract expressionism I'd like you to do. I missed the last one, and hopefully it won't be Thursday morning. How about Wednesday morning? I do tend to do Thursday mornings because that's when people expect it. Now, you obviously have something else going on then, but I will be doing yeah, the Nielsen course that I mentioned that is abstract landscape and collage and mixed media will be Tuesday morning, so it's not Thursday morning. My other courses probably will